I've been jumping around doing all sorts of stuff, here and there. So the videos are going to be a little bit bitty. There's going to be just jumping backwards and forwards on different little jobs.
And then we can see if it doesn't work afterwards, can't we? Anyway, that's all back together. Obviously not tightened yet. Let me go and get a earth connection to the end of that wire. Let me go and get a earth connection. There we go. That is so much better than that. Look at the size of that thing, and look at how much cable was actually used just to create an earth that only needs to be that long. Oh well. What's done is done. And we'll now what do I do with the bolts? Excuse me a minute while I try and, there it is, roll under the carpet there. So let's let me put this on. I think the best thing to do is, rather than put that behind, I'm going to put that in front, so it's a much nicer snug fit. Let's see if I can get this started. There we go. Perfect. That only needs to be done up hand tight, don't have to go stupidly tight, because it's the solenoid for the fuel flap. Obviously it's not tight at the top yet. Not quite sure what this does. That must have been for a different application. So there's just a little gap at the top here. I need to just swivel this round so it covers, because these are like these angled type aerial, can go on any surface of the car, so I'm just making sure that there's no gaps. Trying to minimise as much, just trying to get it under that lip of that. That's it. Just got to make sure when I operate this it doesn't foul the boot. I'll check that in a minute. So this should tighten up quite nice now. I'm going to go stupidly tight on this, because that's when you start damaging stuff. There we go, look at that. Perfect, that's it. Just bang me nut on the boot. That's normal. Well, that's another job jobbed, as they say. Push this bit of trim back, and then I think we can move on to the next job. Next thing on my to-do list that's becoming more problematic, as you know, through the travels on this, getting this car back on the road, I have had some exhaust issues. Unfortunately, where the downpipes come from the engine and joined to this first box, somebody had cut this flange off here and welded it together, and then where you can see the clamp the other side, which is actually doing its job, thankfully, but this side has been a bit more problematic, and I need to do a better repair to it. So I'm thinking of sleeving this one, but I need some clamps as well, because this one at the back, for now this is doing its job, but the actual clamps that are used aren't that brilliant. The sleeves themselves work brilliantly, but the clamps aren't so good, because I had to change them at the back, where the back box joins the next box, sort of just there. Right, take the clamp off and put a traditional type clamp on. So what I need to do, I just need to measure this pipe and this pipe. Yeah, look, all this is flaking off. This has just started to blow very ever so slightly. So I need to measure this so I know what size I'm dealing with. .47 apparently, mind you. It would probably help if I could. A minute. No, I don't. That's right. I'll just talk to myself a minute. .45. Call that 46 mil. That's smaller. So, what size is this? .40. So we're going from a 40 out of Dynameter to at least 46. That could cause me some problems. Anyway, at least I know what I've got. So that's 40. I think it's yeah, 40. Let me just double check, and that one was 46. Measure twice and all that. I'm trying to do this one-handed, it's not good to do it like that. .45. 46. That's 40 going into a 46. That's quite a big difference, isn't it? Anyway, I've got the measurements now, so I know what size clamps I need. And let's make a better. This is just a bodge, isn't it? It's just a bodge. This was only temporary. And I think it's done its temporary bit. I need to do something a bit more permanent. Another job that needs attending to, this door lock. I've forever had trouble with this driver's door not shutting properly. If you don't shut it in a certain manner, it just doesn't shut. It doesn't latch, and I think it's just rubbing on here. I think bracket needs to go down ever so slightly, so I think let's move that down a little bit. I've just put my stand away. Let's see if we can oh, blimey, that's a tight old devil. God. This ain't gonna go. This is gonna need a bit more torque than I've got strength for, I think. God. Oh, no. That's gonna need something a bit more to go down that. Is what these ones like. God, screw life. No, I'm gonna need to get something a bit more man for that. Don't know what I'm going to do about this one. That is just mega tight. Just wondering. Will I be able to just, because this ain't going to go. This is just stupidly tight. And if I don't watch out, it's going to go. I'm just wondering if I'm going to be able to tap it down. Will this slide down just enough, do you think? So I actually managed to get it just to move down ever so slightly, and I've just pulled it forward ever so slightly. And the door does shut better now. Yeah, whether that's the right thing to do, I'm not sure. But there's no play there. The top of the door looks like it could do with going in. I'm not doing that today. That can be the next job on the list. But see, that's what it was doing before. It is closing better. But on to the next job. Just another little finishing touch the old BMW needed was, I don't know why, but there's always tools missing from the toolkits. So I've got two spanners missing, one there and one there, and there's also this tool that goes in here, which I believe is the manual crank for the sunroof or the door windows via that part there. So anyway, fortunately I did order a couple of spanners off eBay. I did shop around and there were some people selling them in pairs or buying them singly, so I bought these two singly from the same seller. I think it was $5.95 each, including the P&P, which I felt was very good. So the window crank one that's missing, yeah, I can get that via the same source, but I have found it brand new elsewhere via the BMW official website. So I'm going to get that from there, and then this toolkit will be complete. So let's get these in. So that's the 10 and the 8, and then we've got the 12 and the 13. So nice. I did give the plastic tray a clean out because it was quite dirty and sort of soiled a bit with some rust spots. Still a few there that I couldn't quite get rid of. The foam has got rust spots on it,
which, yeah, you can get these. I'm not sure whether they're still available from BMW, but you can get pattern ones, but they're black. I'm not so keen on a black one, so for now that can stay. But that's another little job buttoned up and complete. Have a look at what we got today. Peugeot 406 1.9 diesel estate. Oh, sorry, got that wrong. I've just been corrected. It's a 2 litre. Look at that. When was the last time you saw one of these? Hey? I resurrected this a few years ago. I'll put a picture up in a minute of what it looked like. But yeah, what a thing this is. Anyway, new shock absorbers today for a little pre-MOT bit of work. Who does this belong to? My mate Pete, who I got the BMW from. Yeah, I'm going to buy this next. This is the state we've managed to get to so far. You've got to strip all this out. It's probably like most cars. Strip all this out just to get to that top mount in there. So let's buzz that off. Yeah, can I get in there? Oh, easier said than done. So I knew that would happen. It's spinning round, so I'm going to have to do it with a ratchet spanner and hold the top. Let's release the bottom first. So first shocker done. Now let's reassemble the inside of the car again.
Yeah.
So
Hang on, I've got a man to do this.
it wasn't too bad a job actually. So bottom bolt came out nice and easy, and the top fitting came off reasonably well, and it was just a case of compressing the shock absorber, getting it in its where it sits, top and bottom, and button it back up. So that was not too bad a job really. So we're going to be on to the driver's side in a minute, so let's get on with that. There we go, that's the second new one in. Have to keep darting in and out of the rain today. So put all the trim back together, put the wheel back on. Oh, just remembered. So I need to push that dust cover back up, take that mold grip off, and we're done. That's it. Another. Oh, I got my finger in the way. That's a bit daft. Another jobbed. There we go. All microphoned up today. I'm hoping it's working. So a bit of a test. Anyway, I'm in the E28. I've had an electrical problem for some time now, so it's always been getting these interior lights to work. So ever since I took the alarm out of this car, aftermarket alarm, which I thought was initially giving me my non-start issue that I had a long time ago, that finally resolved, and I thought it may have been the alarm, because sometimes these aftermarket things can give these sort of problems, and I didn't have the fob for it. I managed to set it off once and couldn't turn it off, so I just took it out. I traced all the wiring, took it out, and I was doing other bits of wiring under the dashboard and that, because it was all wired in all sorts of places. Anyway, I've not had interior lights for some time now, so because I've had to take all the switches off, because every time the lights came on it would blow a fuse, and it turns out the reason why the fuse kept blowing when you open the doors is an error on my part. So anyway, let me show you. So originally the wiring came in down through the dashboard and into the door switch circuit, which is on this plug here. So I've had all that out again today to double check, And also I've taken the fuse box apart because obviously the alarm was all wired into this, so I'm just double checking I hadn't trapped any wires when putting it back together. Everything was plugged in correctly, which it was, because it was always this fuse here. Currently got the wrong fuse and it should be a white one. I'll just change that, but this one kept blowing. Every time you open and shut the doors, fuse would blow. Well, it wouldn't blow with the ignition off, but with the ignition on, it would blow. So let's go back inside the car. And when I took the alarm out and I was getting all sorts of relays clicking and stuff, and I took this one out. Not quite sure. I'm not sure if it's just the interior lighting circuit or quite what it is, but normally these fuses will only fit one way. You can't make a mistake by putting them in wrong, because they generally only go one way. But this particular relay has only got 2 legs on it, so you can actually get it round the wrong way. And guess what? Yep, I put it round the wrong way, and every time you open and shut doors, it'll blow a fuse. So now I've actually got working lights. No fuses blowing. Fantastic. Chuffed a bits. So I think that's the last of my electrical problems on this car. But bizarrely, the boot light, which is all part of the same circuit, would never blow the fuse. So I don't... Anyway, this is why it's taken me ages to get round to fixing this particular problem. So yeah, there you go. That was a mistake on my part. You know, we do that. So what's the next job? Got to get on with the crusty Alfa. I know I keep saying that. Anyway, let's get on. That's it for this video. I know it's all over the place, jumping about and maybe not making much sense some of the time, but I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, click on the notification bell for upcoming videos, and just keep on following me. That'd be great. Really appreciate it. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye.